it's Lisa. You remember when we used to cut all our photos in circles and all kinds of shapes? Well, we're going to do that again today. We're going to cut some photos into circles because I want a page about movement. We have my dad here on a scooter. He can still get around, but he gets out of breath kind of easily for a couple of reasons. And we were at the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, which is huge, and we knew that he wouldn't be able to walk all of it, so I had checked ahead of time. You can rent scooters. He doesn't know I rented it. He thought it was just available to use. It costs more to rent them than it is to pay the admission, but it was well worth it because he was able to go all over the gardens and see everything, and I think he enjoyed doing this. He loves to drive. Just, you know, he's in his lifetime he's driven buses and or school buses rather, and forklifts and all kinds of vehicles. So I think he really enjoyed it, and we'll probably do more of that kind of thing. I want to capture the page with I had all these different pictures with him on the scooter, and I decided just to use all of them by cutting them into circles. And that way I can fit a bunch of photos on one page. So we're going to do sort of this, you know, these circles like they're moving around, kind of like wheels. And we're going to do some little wheel, probably die cuts to get this design here. I've done that before, and if I have some silver brads, I'll use them for the center, for the spokes. But I don't know if I have any of those or not. May put a couple of strips of paper behind to sort of pull everything together, and I'm probably going to put this on designer paper because before I decided for sure on the layout, I had already pulled out these papers from Fancy Pants and where's this one from? Bo Bunny. This is Everyday Circus. This is a collection from a couple of years ago. I wanted some red, and I liked this red brick because the gardens, there was some brick pavement here where he is, and I like the stars look. This page from Bo Bunny's souvenir collection is all kinds of compasses. So there again we have movement and direction, and then I think this might be the background paper just because it's a good color to sort of go with everything, to use this beige wood grain. So I am going to use a little bit of this paper. Since I am cutting smaller circles, I may look and see what I have in 6x6. I think I had some 6x6 papers that I was storing with these that went really well, that used some of these red and blue colors that he is wearing. So I'll be doing other pages about the garden, but this page I just want to be about him moving along on the scooter, and that was a successful outing for us. So let me go ahead and start cropping some photos. I'm going to be using the Creative Memories circle cutter, and I have these laid out at like a couple of 3.5s, a 4-inch, maybe a 3-inch, but we'll just see what circle cutters work with these photos. I'm using my Creative Memories circle cutters. Just kind of, eyeballing which ones I like in terms of size and all. I want that one to be the smallest, and then the rest of them are going to be a little bit larger. This one I'm actually going to have sort of the edge of it cut off, so that's going to be on the very edge of the page. And that's really close to a 4-inch circle. Now my arrangement's not going to end up quite like the sketch because it's really based on what order I want the photos in, and which direction my dad's facing in different places, because you kind of want people to face towards the center of the page typically. Looking at which papers I'm going to use for the strips in the middle, and I decided on the red brick and the blue stars because he was wearing a blue cap. And instead of die cutting some elements here, I decided to use the paper with the compasses, and I'm just going to punch those out. But right now I'm looking for some 6x6 paper from the Simple Stories pad that coordinates really well color-wise with these other collections.
different manufacturers, and I'm going to use those papers for the circles. I don't have a lot of those left, so once I get those cut out and matted, then I take that 6x6 pad and I just go ahead and break it down and put it in my scrap bin. Now, I don't know why I didn't really just put those little strips all the way across, but for some reason I didn't think that I wanted to. I ended up taking that little bit of red brick paper and adding it over to the left side so it looks like they go all the way across. It just looked empty without it there. That's just sort of to fill in the gaps and kind of connect everything together. And I've got one of the photos, the main one there, that I want to showcase, and I'm going to pop it up with some dimensional adhesive from Stampin' Up. Now they're not flowing quite like they were on the sketch, but that's okay. They'll still work. It's just how they had to be arranged to get them in the order that I thought they needed to be in. I'm going to do a couple of different punches here to get some of the compass pieces, and I'm looking for ones that have the north, south, east, and west on at least a couple of them, so that sort of shows that direction, and also really looking for ones that match well in color with these papers. And I've had this paper a long time, so I end up really cutting it up, but that's okay because it needs to go ahead and get used. Since I'm breaking down the 6x6 pad that I was storing with this and using some of the larger sheets, I think I want to go ahead and break this down as well. And I'll keep what's left of it and probably use it for some other embellishments later on. Now, coincidentally, while I was working on this layout, I got in the October afternoon warehouse box that I had ordered, and that really helped me solve what I was going to do with the title, because the title's going to be scoot, scoot, scooting along. Well, that's a lot of O's and T's to use out of my letters, and so chipboard was out. I couldn't really do that, and if I used the silhouette, it was probably going to have a lot of little letters to handle, kind of going around these curves, but the small letters from October afternoon were perfect. So that green one there with the circles, I had it. I've had that one a while, and then the scooting along in the red and white, that came in my box. It's from Daily Flash. So the title's small, but I think it conveys what we want to say here. I've got a few brads that I'm going to put in the middle of each of these compasses to anchor them onto the paper and just add a little bit of extra color.
Okay, I've added the journaling down here and went ahead and put these embellishments on with brads. I'd like to add some enamel dots down here at the bottom. But I know if I start to take these off and spread them out, they're very fine, and I have a feeling, well, I might be able to get them even. I was thinking about just cutting this whole thing and tucking it under the words and then just gluing it down, and you'd never know that the acetate thing was still there. Decide if I want to spread them out. Yeah, I think they're going to look better spread out. So let's We are a lot like the sketch with our title. I did have to put it around one of the circles because I arranged the circles differently, but I do have my embellishment spread out. I went ahead and put this one to the left of the journaling, matted the photos. I went ahead and matted all of the photos, and then my circular embellishments were punched out of that paper with all the compass designs. And to keep these from turning, since they are directional, I stuck a glue dot behind each one. So that's our page with our photos cut in circles, and by cutting them in circles, I got a lot of photos. There are 4x6s here, well, really 5 4x6s here with this one I guess I had maybe cut down smaller, but the rest of them where I was able to get a lot of the photos used on this page. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you liked the video and you'll give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'd love to have you subscribe. Please check out my blog for more information about classes and the sketchbooks that I have available. Thanks so much.